Yeah, welcome to Academy of Tone 290. Yeah, tonight we have a special guest, Vanessa Jung.
Hi.
Yeah, I'm very, very happy to have you here on the Academy of Tone.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks.
Yeah, there is a little story that goes back to Guitar Summit 20 this year.
20 this year.
2025, yeah. And wait a minute, there's a noise coming from your pedalboard, maybe? Or whatever. It's fine now.
That's fine.
Yeah, we have met there, and this was. I heard about you, but you know, somehow I saw some of the stuff that you have done on Instagram and maybe YouTube.
Probably.
And then
Maybe.
So you know, there's somebody around Vanessa, and I heard the name, but I never really got the full picture. And then you showed up at our booth, at the BluGuitar booth, and then finally we spoke. And then the more I learned about what you are doing, the more impressed I got. It's like, wow, she has done this and that. And for instance, there is a what's it called, the blues rock king,
Blues rocking, yeah.
which I have done with Bernd Kills, the German online Gitarrenlehrer online. That's his.
Yeah.
And that was recorded at Henning Pauli's place.
Right, when he had the new studio.
Yeah.
Studio
B.
C, D, what is it? No, it's not B, he had that before. Must be C or D.
Yeah.
I'm not catching up with the number of Henning studios.
And the thing was, then you told me that you did the transcription.
I think you saw it because I mentioned you on Instagram when the course came out last year.
Yeah.
And then you must have seen it because you said, "Oh, I know you. I knew you before some kind of. I didn't know it was you."
Yeah. So, but for me, you know, this kind of blurry picture that I had of you kind of got more information and got even sharper. Then you know, okay, she has done the transcription and she has done this, and then you know, the more I was. Diving into little details, the more connection came up, which is a nice story. But before we go into all of that, I want to tell you guys a little bit about my last week, as I usually do a little recap on what happened. And a few little things actually did happen. One was last Saturday's gig in Karlsruhe at the NCO Club, which was a very nice concert in a way that I was not expecting. That we had like 230 people, which is quite a lot for us, being not a strict whatever tribute band.
It's just still a lot.
Yeah, so I was kind of surprised. It's like, wow, we had this many people coming, and it was a very nice evening. And this. Maybe some of the guys know that my Rock Anarchy band has several different drummers. We don't have a fixed one. I love Tommy Fischer, and he's the most. There's the drummer that we play together with the most, because Tommy is unbelievable. But we played in Karlsruhe, and the local hero is Jürgen Zöller, and Jürgen Zöller is the former drummer of BAP. The German band BAP for 30 years. Zöller is now 78 years old.
Okay.
And
still drumming.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I found a little clip on the internet which showed like the last whatever minute of the regular set, that showed a few of the things that happened. First, one thing is I played the AMP1 with the Rock Anarchy version 7 the first time. I played version 5 all the year before, and now it's the final version, and that was on stage the first time, and I was happy. But I was losing my pick while I was playing, and so during the whole last song I was thinking, man, where's my fucking pick? So I played with a spare pick, but you know, it's exactly that pick, and it's well played in. It's like the pick of destiny for me, you know. So I'm a bit strange when it comes to these things. So when you watch this little clip, you can see a couple of things. Well, a 78-year drummer that does it all. Me having fun, giving about anything, and me searching the pick before we're leaving the stage, because I know one thing: when I'm going off stage and the pick would still be there, somebody would have grabbed it, you know. So
and you had to play after that, so you had to come to stage again.
Yeah, because for the encore,
yeah.
you know. So I thought, okay, now is the moment to search for the pick, and this is all while playing the last song. Check out this little clip. Yeah, so this was last Saturday, searching the pick, kind of interesting moment. So that was Saturday, and then I had another very, very surprisingly well phone call on Sunday. I got a message on, actually it was Facebook, a week before, from a guy named Walter Trout, and I thought, okay, Walter Trout. He said, that Walter Trout? Yeah, and it was that Walter Trout. And he contacted me via Facebook and said, my latest record, I used the AMP1 and blah, blah, blah. I'm so happy, and I'm, I just want to express my thank you for making such a great amp, and I'm a fan. I'm a fan? And then he said, I'm a fan of both your amps and your playing. I said, fuck, what is going on with this guy? So I thought, you know what, try to arrange a video call. Mm-hmm. So I scheduled a video call, and that was on Sunday. And then I spoke with Walter, and it was like if we would knew each other for decades. He told me, we've been on the call for over 2 hours, and it was so great because he said, Germany, I recorded an album with Tony Carey. I said, oh yeah, Tony Carey was also playing keyboards in my rock anarchy, and then next thing is and Peter Maffay and then I told him the whole Peter Maffay story with the German background, and then we talked about so many different things, which was so great. And I will meet him again when I go to the NAMM show, because he's now somewhere in Scandinavia with his wife, and then they kind of escape to the United States, where he has a house where he kind of lives in the winter, and then he stays there for like whatever 3 months or 8 weeks or whatever, and then goes back on tour in all over the world. Yeah. So this was a very nice surprise, and I found a little picture of him playing the AMP1 in the rehearsal somehow, and it was, it was like clicking. This was like we talked about things, and it's like, man, what's so important is blah blah blah, and you do the thing, and so cool. And this man is history. For me, it's a big thing, because his whole history is and he knows everybody. He told me the stories about Carlos Santana hanging out with him and being a drug addict, and how it is to work with. Super. I was just so excited. Okay, so this was my exciting weekend. And
I heard he was sick, but I'm not gonna ask. But I hope he's doing better.
He's totally fine.
Okay.
And that's the thing about what amazes me is he had, I think it was a liver transplant or something, and this guy was on everything. He said he comes from New Jersey, and then he moved to Los Angeles in whatever, the early 70s. I mean, way before everybody, but played with killer musicians, and he was always keen on playing. Playing was the thing, but got a drug addict with heroin and everything, then became clean, and then had another 10 years of alcohol and cocaine and the whole thing, and now he's clean for 30 years. So this, and he says he feels the best ever, and the advice for the drug side is, he said, it's like when the drug guys, even when you drink too much alcohol, you repeat yourself. It's like mumbling. Oh, I mean, you feel free, and you go, and it's like and then it's like it's consistent, the same story. And he says that's the same. You play the same way when you have alcohol or drugs on stage. You feel it differently, but when you listening back to what you've done,
sounds like shit.
Yeah, and he says being sober is even more intense than taking drugs. Yeah. If you have a feeling. And this guy is very emotional, and this you can tell by the way he plays and the way he is, and the way he looks at things, and that I can really connect to what he was talking, and his playing and things and stories. Incredible. I'm looking forward for being his guest in California.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was my exciting weekend. But now back to you. We played a song by Aerosmith, another drug drug band. What was it? The Glimmer Twins.
Toxic Twins. So.
The Toxic Twins. Yeah. But I think now they are all clean and sober, I guess.
We don't know.
We don't know, but I think so, because, I mean, even Keith Richards is now not smoking anymore.
Really?
Yeah, he quit.
No.
No alcohol, no cigarettes,
okay.
And he is the sweetest grandpa ever.
Okay.
And I know this firsthand. I know this from Daryl Jones, the bass player, and he tells me, of course, Keith Richards is one of my heroes. Before I played the guitar, I was listening to the Rolling Stones, being a fan, and he told me, he's totally clean, totally sober, nothing. And he enjoyed, these guys they had their phases, and now they learned, what? Life is bad when I do this, life is better when I do that.
Yeah.
And so they totally changed.
I heard from, I think it was Slash, I read it in the autobiography, that he said he can't even remember the names of the cities he was in. He was in many cities, but he just, he was so drauf, as we say.
In German, drauf. He was so
stoned.
Stoned, on it, whatever.
On everything.
But I think that's the problem for a musician that is touring like consistently and too heavy. And imagine you spend like a whole year, with no family contact, with just those crazy party people, and then back in the days. That party culture inside the band was also way stronger than.
I think it was not Slash, it was Duff McKagan, the bass player.
Yeah.
And he's a I don't know, economy investing guy now.
Okay.
I think he studied economics or something like this.
Yeah.
And he said that he opened his passport and he said, I saw countries that I didn't know I've ever been to.
Yeah, see?
And then he knew that maybe he should change his life a bit.
Yeah. Well, I personally found out about that energy of being fresh with a good sleep, that I enjoy the life like that most in my very early days. Of course, I tried things, and I remember I had too much red wine, and I hope everybody can try. That's good. So, but I'm happy that the only thing I'm addicted to is maybe my tea in the morning. I'm not even the coffee addicted, so I'm drinking black tea. But it's more a habit, and if it's not available, I can switch to anything else. And I even quit smoking and everything. I never had any problems with stuff like that. It's thanks to my parents. That's good. Cool. So back to you and all the stuff you are doing. I mean, the more I was diving into the information, I found out, man, okay. She's having a YouTube channel. She's playing in the Aero Chicks. She has done the transcription. Then you told me you studied here and there and everywhere. And then you worked with this and video. And then, we had the more I learned, it's like, how many different hats are you wearing, actually? And then you told me you also teach bands. But maybe we start from the beginning. Your main aim is to be or become a solo artist, or what is it?
I think I really like. I mean, what you described is, I think, just like the modern musician has to everything he has to be or she has to be.
Yeah.
Just to make a living as a musician, because you can't sell albums anymore. You can, but
that's not enough to earn the money.
Right, there's Spotify and so on, and it was always difficult. So I think now we have more possibilities, and I'm teaching, and that was always there. But now you have the YouTube stuff to make your own. You don't have labels anymore. You just have to make it by yourself.
Sure.
So,
yeah.
All the promo and so on, you have to make by yourself, and and then you want to make you want to eat something, and then you teach and you play gigs, and that's how that's come.
Yeah,
but I think it's not too untypical for
modern day musicians, and I truly believe that if you are a one-trick pony only, times are very rough for that, because you need to be a little bit flexible to be able to fill the gaps. I mean, that's even the big problem of the old guys. They have their peaks, and they had like their career for like 10 years with hits, and then they had a huge down, because every band goes through phases. and then there is not so much touring, and then there is nothing in the fridge, and then they have no money anymore, and then they kind of crashed way heavier than if you have a few different options. You know, there are musicians that I know, they have a day job, and sometimes in America they are a carpenter, or they paint houses, and, or whatever, and then they go on tour and they are the rock star, and they are fine with that. On the one hand, it's a bit sad because you should be able to make a living out of music, and it's sometimes, I think, not fair what a musician is getting paid for the work that a musician is doing.
Yeah.
On the other hand, it's also a thing how to survive. You have to learn the skills of, maybe I can teach, maybe I can, you know, play in some functional bands or in bands that provide gigs, and then you have your next project and stuff. So let's talk about, maybe we played some Aerosmith because you also play in the Aero Chicks,
right.
which is a German female Aerosmith. Aerohead. Kudos to Markus Demel. No, Aero Chicks. A German...
Aero Chicks. When we make mistakes, we are the Aero Chicks.
Cool. Tribute band. So, what's going on with that band? Who are you? So it's all girls?
Yeah, right. And we started out in, I think, 2021.
Yeah.
And I had just finished my my bachelor studies, and I was having this guitar finals, and I said, okay, I'm going to the lake for 1 week, not just connecting off everything. And then somebody called me and said, we're searching for a guitar player. And it was Saturday, and the gig was on Monday. The rehearsal was on Monday, and the first gig was on Wednesday.
Oh, Monday,
and so,
Tuesday.
Yeah. And then I said no, because also the first gig was not well paid, because it was really the first gig of that band.
They didn't exist before.
They didn't really exist before.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
They had rehearsals before, but they never played before because it was going out of COVID, and it was 2021. There was they had planned to start in 2019 or so.
And then COVID hit, and they couldn't do anything.
It was, everything was dead, and those were the first gigs that were possible.
Yeah.
I actually played my finals from out of my room. Normally you play in one room with a right,
yeah.
And I had to clear everything of my room so they could only see my pedal board. It was a huge build. The whole room was just cleaner than it has ever been. And removed everything, and then you But right, and then they convinced me to play that gig, which was the best thing that could have ever happened, probably.
Okay.
To me, and then I went there on. I listened to the songs actually lying on the lake, so I could practice them so that I knew them, because I didn't know all the songs.
Sure. Yeah.
Because I'm more of a Guns N' Roses fan, which are heavily influenced by Aerosmith.
Yeah.
And so I love the style, and I had my best of Aerosmith album that I knew, but not more. And those were the old things.
Yeah.
So most of the new things I didn't even know.
Yeah.
And I had to listen to that, and then in the evening I practiced that. Went to rehearsal, and then I just love the people there. They're still so nice, and it makes so much fun to play with them.
Yeah.
I think so important to play with people you just like.
Yeah, sure.
And that's the case. And we played the first gig, and I don't know, probably it was horrible because we had one rehearsal, and it was a bit improvised, surely, but we liked it, and so we continued. And
yeah.
And
you told me there's 2 Bavarian girls.
Right, yeah. I'm from Wiesbaden.
Yeah.
2 of them are from Regensburg.
Yeah.
The drummer who founded the whole thing is from Munich.
Yeah.
And then there's the bass player Martina she's from Prague, but she lives in Erfurt.
Okay.
So we're from all over the place.
We have a short clip that we can show, so you can see that band. Let's check them out, the Aerochicks. Yep, this looks like fun.
It is.
And you also have some room in the music of Aerosmith, of course, for soloing.
But we're not playing note for note. I'm not transcribing the solos note per note, because I think that's the fun of being spontaneous on stage. Because if I'm playing the same notes we're not playing that often yet, but on every gig, then
and I think Aerosmith themselves are improvising.
Right, they're never playing the same solo. There are those licks that you just have to play, kind of like in
the song,
and am I off?
No, Jürgen.
That you have to play, because then if you don't do it, people are sad.
Yeah, of course.
One time we didn't, because we didn't have time to play Walk This Way, because the other band was coming and they were saying, and we couldn't play the encores, and people actually came. You didn't play Walk This Way. And we're never doing this again. We're never quitting Walk This Way, because people were actually mad.
They're coming to listen to the hits.
Right. And Aerosmith, actually, they have so many hits, you wouldn't believe it. There are people coming after the show saying, I didn't know I know that many Aerosmith songs.
They have, what is this?
People only know the ballads and Walk This Way.
Yeah, but the balance is also...
I don't was a little bit... Right.
Killer songs.
And also Crying and
yeah, it's a super songs. Okay, but you also have some freedom for soloing. There's a little clip, and that shows...
Actually, what I want to say, this is, for me, that is the hardest song to remember. I can remember riffs very well. I can't remember chord
progressions.
Chord progressions.
Yeah, but
this is what before every gig I'm practicing that because I know that I will just now.
By the way, I played that song myself too, and I know exactly what you mean because it's not the same.
No, it's always
then there's the
changing.
zero my guy. La da 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 da. La da 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 da
and there's the bridge.
Yeah.
And also in first you might. Wait, first they play major.
C sharp major.
C sharp major, and
Wow.
then they play. They played it in minor.
Yeah.
And now minor. And so on. I think I messed it up. It's minor first and then major, but
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, special band.
right.
Yeah, it's a real band.
Yeah.
And it's not like the modern production where you make cut, copy, paste. I think they come from the times where they spent hours playing stuff and then thinking that was cool and that was also cool.
It's a jam band.
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah.
And since cool.
And the singer is always saying, I'm playing. I'm a professional singer. I'm singing all the time. So I know so many lyrics, but sometimes I just can't remember those because they are so strange. Sometimes they just don't make sense.
Yeah.
And I like when they make sense, when a sentence makes sense.
Yeah.
But sometimes they just don't.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a song which is called Gotta Love It. And in the beginning he says, psychedelic sandwich. What is a psychedelic sandwich?
By the way, I have something about in the beginning. Well, I was on tour with Ben Grounfeld and the other, and we always had to sing in the beginning, like the Indians talk in the beginning. So this was our joke moment. Anyway, so, totally stupid, but this is the things that I do remember from a tour. This was the in the beginning tour. Let me start. In the beginning, you play that note. Okay. But I wanted to show that little clip because you have some room for soloing.
And the other guitar player too. So we're changing.
Okay, that's cool. Watch that little clip.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so this is you live on stage and with the Aero Chicks, but you do a lot more. Before we dive into all the other bits, you have studied a couple, well,
Yes.
yeah, I mean, what you told me that you have Mannheim, the Popakademie,
Right. Yeah.
and this was
It was like the real studies.
okay, and the guys there. I mean, you told me about Gagi.
Right. That
Motzig.
was in Mannheim. Right.
That was Mannheim. Yeah.
Right. And he was, I think, he was a teacher in the last year. And,
Yeah.
if you don't know Gagi is a super cool guy, and he has he produced Bochum. If some of the Germans will know.
Okay. Herbert Grönemeyer.
Right.
Okay. For the international guys, there is a movie called Das Boot. It's a war movie about a German submarine in the Second World War, and there were a lot of famous actors. We're talking Uwe Ochsenknecht. We are talking
Grönemeyer.
Herbert Grönemeyer. Was Marius in there too? I don't know. I mean, all them German actors famous actors were in that movie, and they had musical careers, and they are partially very good singers. So, and Gagi was the Grönemeyer guitar player for many years, and then he was also a producer
For Grönemeyer.
for Grönemeyer, Bochum, ich komme aus dir. And Gagi was hiring me in the whatever 90s for the Uwe Ochsenknecht album O-Ton. And so I worked with him, and
And also the guy who played in Das Boot.
yeah, another actor, yeah. And this, which was great because I went to Gagi's studio in Mannheim, in one of those great yards, the backyard. So
Mannheim is really awful to look at.
Yeah.
But then you come into this yard, and you're feeling like Italy.
Yeah,
it's a different city, a different country.
It's like Tuscany. You open the door and you are in a different world.
Plants everywhere.
Yeah, super cool.
And then there's this little studio which is just packed with really old amps, and he has some guitars from the 20s. He did a workshop for us showing the history of the guitar, and he really had those guitars he told us about. So I don't know, an acoustic guitar from 1900 or whatever.
Yeah.
That was so interesting because he actually showed us those instruments, and he could play them in that style.
Yeah.
Because Gagi can kind of play all the styles.
No, he's a really good guitar player, super nice guy. And I had a job. I was driving every day into the studio, and after from here,
okay.
And after the session was finished, back to here, and that for a whole week. So this was like I go to work now as a session musician. 1 week of working with Gagi was nice. Quite some nice experience.
Yeah.
So, and he was one of the teachers at the Pop Academy.
Only for a short time, but yeah. Then.
And then, what's the thing about Ulrich Rode?
That's why I said that was the real studies, because I went there for bachelor and master for 6 years, and then there's a thing called Popkurs, which is really just about the music, and you meet people. I think 50 people in Hamburg.
Yeah.
And they're all musicians, and the goal is to just have sessions and make music together for 3 weeks, and then in 3 weeks in April or March, and then again 3 weeks in August, and then you have a big concert. And by big I mean big because there's a first internal concert, which takes, I'm not gonna lie, 11 hours.
Really?
11
hours. 11 hours.
Because everyone is playing the songs that they made in those 3 weeks, And that's a lot because there are 50 people and I don't know how many bands.
Yeah.
But then there's a second concert, which is public and which is shorter. It only takes 4 to 5 hours. And it must be horrible for the sound guys.
Of course, they are deaf and dead
and everyone
hungry.
sounds different. So there might be a metal band, followed by a funk band, followed by someone just playing piano and singing.
Singer-songwriter, all kinds of...
There must be absolute sound techs mayhem.
Yeah, I had met and played with Ulle.
Right, and Ulle is one of the teachers there.
Yeah, and we talked about the concept of the whole thing and like how open it is and how they try to get more out of the musicians and how to get to the core, you know, and things like that. So this was also this year, I think it was in June, where I played at the #1 Guitar Center Hamburg. I usually do the band there, and we had a bunch of guests, as we should, because there are always great people.
We went there too with him. He took us to Guitar #1, and then we had a little workshop with one of the guys there who showed us that little tube screamer, which was sounding different because it had a different battery, whatever.
They have a collection. I mean, okay, they are nerds.
They have everything.
Yeah, they have everything. I like that shop because I'm the host for the vintage guitars. So they get a lot of very expensive old gear, and when they have that in. I drive there once a year, sometimes twice a year, and shoot videos about these guitars. And it's not that long ago, Lucas, when were we there? Like 2 months or 1 month, 8 weeks, whatever. We were there, and we had like 2 Les Pauls, each 400,000, sitting behind you, and 20,000 euro Telecaster, and so I will never buy those guitars. I don't have that money, but I have the chance to play them by demonstrating them, and I'm learning about the qualities of good instruments and bad instruments. Not all of this vintage gear is good, but if some of the vintage instruments are really good, it's like they are really good.
I think I saw that you were there, and there was I know his name from Guitar #1, and he was comparing the some amp, was it a Soldano or so, to the Iridium. And he was saying, I know it's that amp, because it has this feedback and so on. I know it's the real amp, but it's coming pretty close.
Yeah.
He was saying, it was the Iridium actually.
He couldn't tell the difference. Yeah, but I mean, this is, when I go there, I think this was Niels. I always invite people from there. Like if they're from the shop or from Hamburg, or Ulle, for instance, was also a guest on my stream there once. And
I think what is his name again? Niels? No.
Yeah, Niels.
Right.
Yeah.
He also did the little demonstration for us.
Yeah, I mean,
he's a really cool.
These are all nice people and nerds, and so I have always a great time there hanging out. We have that little photo from after the show, and in the photo is the whole bunch of the Markhof Ried and who else? There's
Nick Huber.
Nick Huber, the guy on the right with the glasses in the third. Ulle is the first one on the right, and then there's Gulli, the bass player of the Rock Anarchy. Tommy with the hat and the glasses is our drummer. In the middle, Markhof Ried with a white shirt, myself, and Andreas Kloppmann, of course. And Stefan Stoppock is the in front of Andreas Kloppmann, and then the tall guy in the front on the left is Nils Finkeisen. Yeah, so it's nice, and we played together. We had no rehearsal. We had just fun. It's always a great time and great people. So, and the guy on the right was kind of your teacher then with the Popkurs.
We also had guitar lessons.
Okay.
And we could go there or just leave it. You could also just make music. Some people said, I don't want to. There were business courses and so on, like a little Popakademie kind of, but Popkurs is way older. We were the 40th year, right?
Wow.
And before that it was Peavey who did the guitar thing for the Popkurs, and it was just pure fun. Because you're making so much music, and when you're studying, you're also busy with other things, and you have to do music theory and some business courses and how to make your promotion thing and everything like that. So marketing thing, and there you can go to like courses like texting or GEMA.
GEMA is the royalties company. I mean, if you composer, you have to take care of GEMA, because if the GEMA fucks you, you will never make money. I had to sue them. And I was winning, but that's a complete bad story, because actually I was suing them for a 6-digit number, because I was writing music for the German television, and it has been on air. So, and then this was like ARD, the first German TV program, ARD. They had at those times maybe still 13 TV stations. So every Sunday morning when my music was played, I was getting rich, because 1 minute by 13 on the ARD is jackpot. So I thought, man, cool, 9 o'clock, some kids TV. I did some whatever.
Oh, what was that?
Die Oase und Hart an der Grenze. These were like 2 German 6 episodes TV things in the morning for teenagers, like a little police story kind of thing. So anyway, and I did the whole music from the intro song and even, the movie score and outro and everything. So I had tons of music in there. Jackpot. And what happened is they didn't pay everything.
Okay.
Because I found out the money they were buying was like literally less than 10%. So, and then I found out, how to get to my money. My grandma was still living at that time, and she gave me the newspaper. And in the local newspaper, we had a TV program back then. I mean, I'm talking last century. Okay, I was your age.
I think it's still in there.
It's probably, when I was like your age, young.
Still in the newspaper.
Vanessa is young because by name, and she will always stay young. That's a good thing about your name. So when I was young, I had that jackpot, and they didn't pay me. And so I got a lawyer, and the lawyer took 50%, and I thought, okay, it's better to get 50% of that thing than nothing. And then we won the case, and we got the money, and it was still so much money that I had to pay the other 50% of what I got to the tax accountant, to the tax, because it was all in one batch.
Oh.
So out of whatever 100,000, which would have made me rich, I got 25,000. And this was optimizing by I had to buy a car as well. I mean, these days I don't have any money in this kind of. I mean, I have a company, but I make less money than I used to as a musician in the good old days. But anyway, so the GEMA, very important thing. If you are living in this world, you have to know where the income is potentially coming from.
Right.
So one thing is, as a writer, you have to understand royalties, like GEMA or SCAP or all these kind of things. Don't sign. I can tell you, Oh, GVL, ja, I hate them already. Gesellschaft zur Verwertung von Leistungsschutzrechten. That is GVL.
Very German thing.
Very German thing. And I tell you, fuck them all. Because in the good old days, I was doing TV shows, playing on television air guitar basically, because full playback, you know, with German bands, Purple Schulz, Rainbirds, and Tic Tac Toe. I was on TV. Nobody was plugged in, but we were on big TV shows, and I got paid for that. And this kind of invoice you could claim with the GVL because I was an actor. Cool. And you would get like a little bit extra at the end of the year. I'm talking about 4,000 a year at least. And then, you know, the money was shrinking and shrinking and shrinking, even though I was still in the business. And I said, what is going on here? Something is wrong. And then, fuck. It's like you have to learn and understand that system.
Yeah, it hurts in the beginning, and it's not very interesting, and you don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
But once you need it, then it's good that you have heard about it.
And that's important because I took the decision that I quit all that stuff, and I don't care anymore because I am totally busy with BluGuitar and the company. But when I was musician, I had to work on that side a lot to get the money that was potentially owned. And it's the same thing like when you play a gig and the guys are not paying. What are you doing? I mean, you have to have some friends. Yeah, see? Oh, there are not so many people coming to the show. Yeah, we only met, I mean, we had the other band and the other band as well, so there's nothing left. And then the guy, you know, said, yeah, but I paid my band already, so it's out of my pocket. Oh man, I tell you, it's like, okay, business important.
Right. And then, you could just say, just leave me alone with that. I'm just making music, which some people did. We had also improvisational theater, which doesn't seem to fit, but it's very important when you're on stage and you just have to improvise because you don't. I mean, you're always improvising when you're on stage. With everything can happen, and your strings can break, or you're losing your pick.
Sure.
What are you going to do? You're improvising, right? And so that's very important. It was really fun. So
I kind
took some of the courses.
I'm very impressed that they offer this kind of course these days, that you can experience that knowledge before it happens to you. I mean, I'm self-taught in any way, from the guitar to being a businessman. And I tell you, my business story, I can tell this many times. If you want to become a businessman, the first lesson I would do is like you grab €100 bill or $100 bill and you light it up. And if you show some emotions, you are not a businessman. Then we have to repeat this exercise with the next 100.
You can throw some out of the window.
Yeah. If you are cool and you can stand losing money, then you can start to make business.
And then you can be a musician too.
Yeah, okay. You have to have both. You have to have the relaxed attitude towards money, but you also have to have that emotion like, okay, let's clean it up. Let's see that we have some money in the account to go on. I mean, a mono kind of version doesn't work. So you have to have both. But one thing is you have to be relaxed about money too, because it will happen.
And optimistic, kind of.
Optimistic, realistic. Pessimistic
Both,
never works. So, okay, good. But back to the studies. One of the things is that you are able to write what you're listening, and this is what got you the job with like Henning or with Bernd.
Right?
Bernd.
Because I was already doing the video feedbacks for his courses.
Okay.
So people, the concept is he's doing these courses, people are watching them, practicing to it, then they're recording themselves, and then they're sending me the videos, and I'm saying, okay, it sounds nice, but it's a bit out of beat, or you're just your fingers need to be not here, but here, and you're just over cramping, you're making the fist like this. This is one of the things that it's always it's often the same things that you're
seeing,
criticizing. I mean, you're just like every teacher. It's the hard things when learning guitar are always the same things.
Okay.
So,
what I like about that is you of course spend some time and you learn for yourself by watching other people fail.
Right. Yeah. And you see that it's interesting because by teaching other people, you're learning so much for yourself, because you're thinking, okay, I'm telling him to do this, but am I doing it right? And yet you're checking. And then recently I got a mirror, a little mirror, because Justin Hombach is always saying he plays with a mirror, and it's so great. You can actually see what you're doing. Yeah. You can also do it with a phone. It's a little bit slower than an actual mirror, but you can just focus on your right hand, and then you're watching yourself and you're seeing things.
They think, oh,
it's like filming yourself, which is also a great experience, because when you're playing, I mean, when you're playing piano, you're always watching your fingers. You're always seeing what you're doing. But playing guitar, I have no idea what it looks like from the other side, right?
Yeah.
And actually, guitar is also a bit visually harder to teach than piano, because, like I said, on piano you can just
you watch
it from above, and then on guitar it's this. But then and where's the thumb? And then you're saying
maybe here.
It's here.
Yeah, or is it here? Yeah.
And also, what I just realized when I started teaching is that guitar is one of the topics that are not, there's not a big theory behind it, when or not the one thing everyone is taking as the basis. I think in piano there are probably, that's been taught for hundreds of years. And
Mozart has played the piano, Beethoven has played the piano.
Also the drum teaching community is a bit better structured. I don't know. There's a theory, and there are old books, really old books. And for guitar we have kind of every country has their own guitar theory, because we have Peter Bursch, then we have Peter Fischer, and in America they probably if someone from the US is watching, there are some Herr Leonard books, whatever. That
Bert Weedon in the UK, I heard. I never know.
Right, and then everyone's saying something else, and then you're also you're seeing what other people are playing very well on guitar. So if you're watching Gary Moore, everyone is saying, okay, you're teaching me to use your pinky or so. But he's never using his pinky. And I don't know, Steve Morse can play, even though he, I actually don't know what he's holding his hand like, but even though he's doing this, and Kirk Hammett is showing his middle finger while playing, and he can still play fast. Some say so, some say so. But Kirk Hammett was a big influence and hero of my my teenage days. So and you can't say anything against it. You can just say, maybe he was lucky, or maybe he could play even faster if he was not doing like this. But when someone big did it and broke the rules. I mean,
everybody's copying it.
Playing guitar is all about breaking the rules.
Yeah.
And that's, yeah.
Yeah.
It makes it interesting to teach.
Yeah. For me, I learned most of my skills by like listening, but then also by teaching. I remember when I was a teenager, I needed the money. And so the first thing when I knew something, I had some students to teach it to. And they were challenging me big time. I remember when they came to me with some Aussie album and it's like, fuck, you know,
that's when you're learning.
Yeah. Okay, can we do this next week? And then I was listening to Diary of a Madman. You know, it was like, okay, let's learn that crazy train or whatever. And that was a good challenge and a good practice. But I could live in that world, and by being there, being challenged, I learned for myself.
Yeah, and also by explaining something to someone else, like the modes thing or music theory.
Yeah.
You're also repeating it for yourself, and you're making connections that you didn't make when you were just studying it for yourself.
Yeah.
That's just it's just amazing.
So that helps, and you learned how to like write music and read music.
Yeah.
For me, that's very impressive because I'm a lousy reader and even not existing writer.
Maybe I'm better at writing than at reading, because reading
you don't use
doing that much.
Yeah,
actually.
same here.
I'm sometimes reading tabs when they called me for the Aerochicks.
Yeah.
I wasn't listening to it and transcribing it just like that. I was just using Songster or just like getting. I had to get it in fast, and I used everything option. I could find.
Yeah, sure.
Because just transcribing it by ear would just have taken too long, and but I'm also sometimes I'm challenging myself, and I'm just saying, okay, I'm not now going to learn this solo by ear. And then I'm making it really, 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 really slow.
Yeah.
And then I'm just.
Are you using special tools for speeding it down?
Any tune, it's called.
Any tune, okay.
Which because on YouTube you can make it slower, but it loses quality.
Yeah, it's like.
Right, it sounds awful, and you can't hear. Sometimes you can't hear
the pitch correctly because it's
and
so
also
grainy.
the different notes. They're just all baked together.
Yeah.
And in any tune, somehow it's
clearer.
It's clearer, right?
Yeah.
It's slower, but it's clear. And then I use that. And sometimes then you realize that in older productions, it gets really hard because. The guitar is I don't know, so
it's everything. It's out of tune, out of time,
right?
And this is a challenge because like I would say the modern guys, they have a very precise technique. You know, I mean, talking about Justin Hombach, it's like he gets up and he has the
also
best.
Dream Theater and so.
Yeah. So that's but you know. I am a very emotional player, and the only thing that I learned is like, this is my motor, and I try to meet the left and the right hand in sync. Somehow it works. Don't ask me what I'm doing, and it's like. I call this all economy picking, but whatever. So you did the kind of tabs on what I have done on that course, Blues Rock King. Okay, talking about the course,
which I had never done before for any course. So
okay,
so I had just transcribed my own stuff and. Some solos for university and so, but that was like the first transcribing job.
Good practice. So I should have double checked it, but I never did. I trusted the team, and that was you in that case. So that's the course that I have done in German. And then there is the Guitar Summit Blues Rock Masterclass, which I have done for the guys from Guitar Summit. They started that thing when COVID was hitting the world, and they found out we should have something in case nobody comes anymore. So we should have something online. And so I helped them to do that course. And guess what? I just asked what's going up with Christmas, and they said, oh yes, we do a Christmas special sale. So this is like, if you want me in English with that course and you still don't have it, Lucas can give you the hint where we can find that that course. And I see another thing about this is the thing that I took from the Guitar Summit that you had there.
When it was still
in planning. So this was you promoting a release concert which is not yet
right, it will happen.
Yeah, it is postponed.
Right.
So this is part of your debut album.
Right, yeah.
But you have already...
It's coming.
It is coming.
Someone already asked.
Yeah, AMP1 is also coming. Don't ask me when, but it's coming soon. So this concert is postponed, but you already had a few instrumental songs out in the past.
Just singles, right?
Yeah. Let's listen to that. We have Carved in Stone, which was one from
2022. But
yeah, check it out. Yeah, and we have another song from the past. It's called Mohaka.
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 You would have been the first person to say that right.
Mohaka.
But people already said Mojo Car, Mojaka, Mojaka.
Mojaka. Mohaka.
It's a city in Spain that I've never been to, but it looked amazing. It's on the cliffs and it's just white. And
well, there's nothing wrong about Spain because Spanish Castle Magic by Jimi Hendrix. He had also some Spanish
inspiration.
Inspiration. Okay, enjoy that song real quick. Yep. So I can see in the chat is people interested in Katzensprung, for instance. Vanessa is a fantastic teacher.
Yeah, so, Katzensprung is one of the people who always watch the videos. Thanks for that.
Okay, so you being a teacher or a transcriber, or do you have like things that are very obvious that we all do wrong or that we could improve? Is there stuff that makes our life easier?
I mean, there's this thing like the fist thing that people just. I mean, the picture that I'm most often sending with any email is of my hand, just how to hold the pick. And I'm always when teaching, you always have to think about, okay, maybe I'm still learning a lot, and maybe next year I'm telling a whole different thing because maybe I'm not doing it perfectly. Who's doing it perfectly?
Nobody is really, but
Hendrix is playing completely different than John Petrucci. So who's right?
Yeah.
And who's the better guitar player?
Yeah. But what would be your fist? How would you hold it?
I would always say it's the trigger finger like this. Then you put it here. So some people are making this, which is a bit too not that stable, I would say. Yeah. So when the finger is here, but I would just crawl it in and then just put my right like this.
Is this good? I have no idea.
I think it's good. Yeah.
I noticed one thing. In my early days, I was the Gary Moore kind of.
Right. Yeah.
So and then I saw somebody, and then I learned that both.
Justin always says this because it's. I read he has written a book about what's it called? The anatomics of speed picking.
Yeah.
And I read that. It's great. It's really nerdy.
Of course, he is the super nerd when it comes to picking.
That's just, it has to be nerdy. And it's really interesting because he's focusing on all these stretches. So when you're making like this, you're actually stretching your hand. Everything is so stretched, and then people are wondering why they can't play fast, or they're is it called cramping?
Yeah, maybe cramping. Yeah, verkrampft in German.
And
stiff or whatever.
Stiff, probably. Yeah. And also when you're making this, you feel like your hand is just stiff, and this is for me. It feels the best, the safest. I don't know. It feels the most relaxed. Let's say that. When I'm just, some people are saying, okay, but then when I'm doing this, then I'm touching the strings. Yeah. And I'm saying, no, you're not. Yeah, like you're not touching the strings, right? Because you're just making this. Yeah. And not this, yeah, and not this, but this.
Loose and relaxed.
And relaxed, right?
Yeah.
And it's sometimes it's hard to tell because you're just seeing the hand, and you're not knowing if the people feel what the people feel like. Do they feel relaxed, or every hand looks a bit different when being relaxed.
Yeah, okay.
And then you're thinking, okay, maybe I'm telling someone who feels absolutely relaxed with what he's doing. You're telling him to hold it a bit more like this, even though he can play perfectly like that.
Yeah.
But then people are asking me what to do differently. I'm saying, okay, this is what you can think about.
Yeah.
Go a bit into yourself and find out if you're relaxed or if you're not relaxed.
Yeah, I think that's for me.
Because for some people that works out perfectly, right?
Yeah. When I was younger, I was probably not as relaxed as I'm today in general, because you're young, you want to play, I want to be Ingvi as well, and you are not. But the lesson that I learned from a drummer was when the drummers wanted to play fast, they have to had not a stiff connection to the sticks, they had to be able to switch from standard hits to double strokes or whatever that's called, when the stick in the hand can move, like this, ding 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 or whatever, and so that made sense. That and the other thing I was told from the drummer is also make the movement not from the arm, make it from the wrist.
Like playing guitar. You should do it from the wrist. When you're strumming, you're mostly doing it from. You're moving the whole arm, right? But then when you're playing like some lines, I'm just barely moving my arm. Right?
Yeah.
Why am I so loud?
It's okay. No. You can be loud. No problem.
Yeah, and you know it's a different thing, and then people always want to have one way to do it.
Yeah.
So am I playing guitar out of the hand or out of the arm?
Yeah.
Then you're saying it depends.
Yeah,
what are you playing?
I have a huge problem found when I learned like, okay, you know, like I do have alternate picking. So I'm cheating because I know I can't do it. So what I'm doing is don't ask me
Which
what
sounds.
Yeah. But I think that's called economy picking. I learned that I call it cheating because what I'm doing is like I focus on the first note and the last note, and I try to make as many
Everything in between, right?
yeah, and try to be in the rhythm.
Yeah.
So do you have any advice for that? Because what I notice is when I play a line like when I play that line, okay. There comes a point where
Which is already pretty fast.
Yeah, but I think that is already cheating.
I mean, if you can play fast like this, then it's just not.
This is I call this, it's probably economy picking, but I know that I'm not doing every note up and down strokes. I do that move in a way, but this I think Ingvi does the same thing because you can't play so complicated. You have to cheat somewhere.
Yeah.
And that's totally okay.
Right. Yeah.
So what's going on? Hence, I have an excavator-sized shovel in hands, and I need to get remain.
Another thing, this laying the hand on the pickguard or not. Some people are just resting it here. So I think I can't even play like that because. Right. Just laying them and. Or some, are there any instances where really playing them on the? No, I don't think so. I'm always making this, and but some people are just, I don't know if it's for security or so, just laying their hands on. And many people are doing
on the
this.
Scratch
also.
plate.
Yeah.
Well, I have always my pinky at the volume port. Actually, when I play fast, I kind of just lift it a few centimeters. So I'm close, but I'm not connected anymore. So when I play...
To the pickguard. Connected to the pickguard.
By the way, this was...
hybrid picking.
Hybrid picking. I don't know exactly what I'm doing. And that's my secret. When I look at what I do, sometimes it's like... I'm not interested because it's like when I realize I go crazy. It's like too much information. I don't want to even know. It's like.
But it's interesting that you're saying about the hitting one note and then it's important to hit the last note.
Yeah.
Because I don't know where I saw it. but someone was talking about Van Halen Eddie's playing.
Yeah.
And he was saying, okay, he's sometimes just playing the same thing in wrong notes. Just. That was awful, but. You can do it better.
Yeah.
But it's not in any scale or so, but he's just making this.
It's so clever.
It sounds good.
I think it's so clever. There's something going in. Here, Carsten Göke. I sent him. He was asking me about that technique, and I filmed it with my mobile phone and sent him the clip and said, "Hey, fun, you watch it, whatever I do." And he found out it's ökologisches picking. But it's it's that kind of thing that's I learned to cheat. It took me a while. This is nothing that I wait a minute, you have some hum in your yeah, thank you. This is what I practice. I knew that I'm not. When I was a teenager, what I have done is like I have done the right hand in a way. I know it's kind of not correct, but when I do this for a little longer, the kind of moves will synchronize, and then. Okay, and then I cheat without knowing. It is a. I'm not a legato guy. I always thought, be a man and.
That's interesting. I'm more of a legato type of person, and I found out why. Because I was playing a lot of Gary Moore in the beginning of my guitar playing days, and also my first teacher was a huge Gary Moore Hendrix fan and so on, and actually. Gary Moore, I mean, he has a very clean technique, but he uses a lot of
hammer-ons
and pull-offs. And he's not picking that much. He's really, just a legato guy. Maybe that's why I took, because it's just practical to not to pick too much.
Is he? I think he hits one note and then he does the hammer on, and while having like one.
Economic in a way.
Yeah. I think it's based on. I'm not the expert. I mean, I love Gary Moore. I have to look into the detail. I think when he plays the super fast stuff. There is a thing that he uses kind of an Eric Clapton-ish lick that he brought up to like almost double speed or something like that, like which something like with a hammer on and pull off, and that's kind of where he gets the unbelievable fast speed. That's actually a good subject I would love to dive in for another episode for myself. Because
and speaking of Gary Moore and also the transcribing stuff, I think it's very hard to transcribe actual Gary Moore solos, or that's what I find hard when transcribing, because he's kind of breathing, or he's doing this.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's okay.
He's having this those Nebengeräusche.
Noise.
Wait, I'm just. And how are you transcribing or writing this down? This what he's. And then you're thinking, okay, It's gonna take me an hour to even
think what it is.
Because it makes when you're transcribing, it makes such a difference how things are played, and you're paying so much attention to how it's played.
Yeah.
For example, when you're in the course, you were, but I don't need that much. Yeah. I think that were some licks like this. And you can play this. This is the interesting thing about the guitar. So you can play this in so many ways. You can just hit every note. Now you did a slide already. Have you heard it? Yeah. And that you have to, and you can play that slide, that kind of slide.
Yeah.
So without stopping, and you can play. Another stroke.
Hit with another stroke.
That makes a difference. It also makes a difference if you're making a staccato. Like
more
that
legato.
makes a difference.
Yeah.
And you have to think about all that, and that makes it really, really interesting. And you're noticing so much stuff in people's playing, and I was also transcribing my own things, and I was seeing so much in my own playing that because when you're playing it or you're improvising it, like the solos of my album, you're not thinking, oh shit, I have to transcribe this. And then suddenly you have to, and I mean, what was I doing?
For me, the thing is, I only pay that attention to detail when I compose something. In one of my instrumental songs, for instance, I have a line that goes like... And then, sorry, I have to find the chord. And then... Some Steve Morse-ish kind of thing. So, I mean, it's based all on the picking thing and trying to make arpeggios. And sometimes I forget about it. It's like I kind of... I remember when I had no clue. And then I thought, okay. Then I look into details when I kind of compose the original idea, and then sometimes I forget about the thing because I have, well, my head is full with too much information. But the thing is, this kind of precision, in my opinion, is sometimes needed, and it's good to. And sometimes it's not needed. No. That's the Gary Moore approach, because I think this guy played his ass off.
He just squeezed the guitar, and that's
and that's cool. All it takes, you know. I mean, it's like, give me some gain and go. mean, you have to be dirty, and I think when you, if you think too much, then you lose the message. Ja.
Ja, right.
Wie viel Red Bull muss man eigentlich trinken, bis man so hyperaktiv spielen kann? Well, Red Bull is not very healthy, I heard. You better take the real stuff then. I think even cocaine is healthier than Red Bull. If it's all organic. But we don't have this here, no. But I see Seite for Corridors of Power, yeah. Anyway, I was very, very impressed by the Gary Moore energy and by his stuff. And I still am, because it's like outstanding. And even the dirt. I mean, it's like when he goes, you know. I can just have fun with it. By the way, guys, this is a Peavey 5150 on my Strat. Where's the amp? Where is it? And I have dialed in the tones in a way that it's unbelievably not Peavey-like, because then it wouldn't sound like me. But anyway, other topic, other time. Okay, talking gear.
Talking gear.
Yeah, you had a long journey, which I found quite interesting. So, what was the starting point, and where are you now? I mean, you are modern day traveling guitar player with a lot of experience from the. So how did you start, and what happened over the years?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm not thinking about it, I'm always thinking, okay, I don't have that much gear, but actually, when I think about it, I don't know, I still don't have enough gear, but
well, nobody.
But I think I have made some experiences in all the kinds of things that exist, from modeling amps,
Yep.
like the Line Spider and
Was
Line
this like
6 Spider.
Did you have this as an early amp in your life?
That was an early amp. The earliest amp was there was a package, like a small Peavey
Christmas package.
Yeah, kind of.
Guitar with
like
amplifier.
Guitar with amplifier, right?
For
it was a
199 or whatever.
Transistor amp.
Yeah. Was it Peavey or was it?
It was a Peavey, and the guitar was a Peavey too.
Ah, see.
and I had some picks with Peavey on it, and then there was a DVD with
instruction,
which I never watched, but I still have it. And yeah, there was I was playing. I was starting with acoustics, and I wasn't really practicing because I was not interested in the stuff that you can't play on an electric guitar. I wanted to play and so on. And I realized I can't play it on acoustic guitar.
Sure.
Not
boring.
Not like that. And then my father said, maybe do you want to stop? And I didn't want to stop. I just didn't know what was wrong. And he said, maybe you wanna try out an electric guitar. I was like, yeah. And from that point on, I was just practicing. And it was this cheap Peavey amp and a Peavey guitar, which I both still have. And then I switched to the next big thing, which was a Spider Line 6 Spider 4. I can't talk anymore. I'm getting dumb already, even more dumb. And that was the next big thing.
Cheers. I'm drinking alcohol-free water with bubbles, and I'm dumb too.
And I switched to the next better guitar, which was an Ibanez RG, and then I had enough of this modeling thing. I wanted a real amp. Okay. Then I got me an orange TH30, which was my first amp, and an angle cap, and some pedals. My first pedals, which is this one was one of the first, the OCD, right?
Full tone.
Which
it's a good pedal. It's a classic.
Yeah, I think that there was some controversy on full tone, which made me think about removing it. But then it's so baked into this pedal board, and actually the tube screamer that I wanted to replace it, that I also have, doesn't fit in here. So it's built for that around that pedal kind of. So it's not an easy thing to change that. And I was having a Hall of Fame. I saw that lying around here.
I have a Hall of Fame reverb.
Some TC electronic stuff, and the Hall of Fame, the reverb, and the flashback, which is the delay.
Here is the Hall of Fame. And, I have everything, almost everything. Then there's the flashback.
I think I sent you a picture of the first pedal board that I had, which is it was really just
basic.
Colorful.
Yeah, well,
the first pedal that I got me as a Metallica fan was the Kirk Hammett, right? The Kirk Hammett War.
Okay.
On the right side, you see that this pedal board is it looks awful, but it made sense to me back then. The switch of the orange and that full bore metal, which is have you ever heard about the full bore metal? It's sounding like. It's absolutely sounding awful, but back then I was trying it out at the music store and at session, and I was playing it loud, and I was in that Dimebag Darrell phase, and
you liked it,
and I really liked it, and then I realized at home I don't have these, I can't play it at that volume, and. It didn't sound that great anymore.
No, it sounds a little busy. And what is the middle
that's
TC?
Just the middle TC. Oh, that's a John Petrucci Dreamscape. That was a combination of chorus, vibrato, and tremolo.
Yeah, so all the modulation effects.
Some modulation effects, right? And of course the MXR, the script, which is
Van Halen-ish.
Probably one of my favorite pedals from that pedal board. My favorite thing from that pedal board. But then I found out the MD500, which I have now, can get not only pretty close to that, but it has the exact script thing in that, right? And I just love what you can hear with it. Let me see if I can just find it. That's the new pedal board, which I brought today. Which is not that colorful anymore. I just noticed when seeing that those two pedal boards A to B.
Yeah.
I never realized, but
how many?
The first days were pretty colorful, and then it's more
interesting. On the first pedal board, we had that cork tuner, which I had a long time on my pedal board also. Pretty true bypass, not bad.
Yeah, it's not black anymore because the wah pedal was always falling down because it's so heavy that, and the Velcro was so bad that I had.
Yeah,
it was always disconnecting.
Yeah, and then scratching the paint is gone and the screen is scratched. Yeah. But back on the new pedal board, so there's a mini, a micro, actually I would call that.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. I got that because the pedal board was just planned. It was then built by a friend of mine.
Yeah.
Which was really nice. He did it for free because he had fun with that. I was using some pedal planner or so, and on the pedal planner it all made perfect sense.
Looks so cool.
But on the pedal planner you don't have cables, and you don't have those
plugs.
holes on in the ground of the pedal board, and you have to strategically. I mean, everyone who has built a pedal board knows that. You have to think about where the pedals run and where's the power supply and so on. And we did this thing that we had these magnetos for the AMP1, right?
Yeah.
And we did the carving of the metal a bit too. Yeah, they're too close together, so it
doesn't fit. Yeah.
And so
building a pedal board is a challenge and an art.
Right.
And it is mechanically and it's also electrically demanding. If I listen to your pedal board, I can hear some noise when you switch to overdrive. Is it only when the guitar is open? Where was your overdrive sound? Now it's clean. Did I switch it off? Maybe we did.
No, I don't know.
Something. Here you are.
Now it's
okay. It's clean. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Now it works.
Now it works. Okay,
I mean, earlier in this episode, I heard some hum, and I don't know where this was coming from. Okay, maybe it's gone. Yeah.
I never really. I don't know. It's the only thing that fits because the big pedal doesn't fit. But it's too small for because my foot is not entirely on that thing.
Yeah.
And it feels strange.
Yeah.
So I'm not actually using that much anymore. Actually. When I'm playing live, I have to say that I'm not really using the pedal board at all anymore at the moment because I don't have a car and I'm traveling by train.
And then you have your FM3?
Right. Today I'm here with the car because I borrowed it from my grandpa, which is really nice of him because the pedal board is really heavy and it has a big bag and I carried it today for like 10 minutes and I thought it's just too heavy. I'm a small person and I'm not even 1.7 meters tall, so it always is too close to the ground and so the FM3 just puts it all into one box, right? And when you have to save space, then but I still love pedals, so it's
And I mean, you recorded your album with some sounds were the FM3 and some sounds were the AMP1. But by the way, I can hear the noise again.
Yeah, me too. But
now it's gone. Wait a minute.
Huh? Now it is gone for small.
It's gone. Fucking hell. I don't know. Okay, when it comes again, I can look what is it. So on your album, you were using the Fractal FM3 for
the rhythm tones.
Yeah, because that's a whole story in itself with your album. You tried to record analog.
Right. That was an idea by the producer David. He said, "Yeah, let's do this." And I didn't know what was coming because I just thought, okay, let's do it analog, and I didn't know what that meant for the mixing process because he has to book the studio for 1 week, which is also why it took so long because we did the last sessions in May, and I knew from the singles, which were only digitally and also released and just produced in the box, not analog. That took some weeks, but now he had to book the studio for because he's sharing it with some other guys. He had to book the studio for 1 week just to be safe, because when you're done with the analog mix, you can't change anything anymore, and you can't say, okay, I'm booking the studio on Monday, then I'm coming back on Thursday when some other people are using the studio, because the next day the guy comes and says, okay, I want to do something else, have my own mix, and everything is gone, the whole work from one day. That is one thing. Why we realized, okay, there's actually a reason why people are not recording analog anymore, because it may sound good and it's the classic way, but it was an interesting experience. But I don't know if we do it again, because when you make a mistake, or if you're realizing, okay, there's some frequency that I still don't like, and you have done the mix.
It's there.
It's there, and you have to mix it again. You have to remix it.
Yeah. And I come from the times when recording was analog. Did you record on tape?
No, we didn't have to cut any. That's why it's hybrid kind of. Yeah. So we didn't have any tape.
Because
I think tape is expensive.
I remember in my early days recording on tape, and some of my solo albums are recorded on 100% analog. Analog recording, like real tape, 2-inch tape, plus...
It was analog mixing, not analog recording.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a hybrid thing.
Yeah. This instance, my Dreist CD German, but also my first and my second solo record, Beauty of Simplicity. Sometimes I have some here, sometimes I can't find.
You recorded that on tape? Really?
Yeah, this is this is recorded on tape, mixed analog, with no computer, and
when was that?
This was in 1993.
Okay.
And also the album one later, which was Electric Gallery, still the same process. There's two things that we had to learn. One is the tracks were limited. So 24 tracks sounds like a lot, but there's drums, you have a snare drum top, you have a snare drum bottom, you have a couple of toms, you have overheads, you have bass drum, you have room mics. Half of the tracks are gone for the drums. There's a bass, and there's maybe an organ with a Leslie, 3 channels, the top, the low one, and then it's getting kind of close. So all my solos, I could overdub, but sometimes there is no extra track. So you have to punch in, which means the guy that is the engineer, he has to know, I have to count him in. It's like, okay, I play doodle-looden, doodle-looden, do-do-do, ba, and you have to be on the band, and the tape moves, and it's like not instant. You have to be slightly ahead. That's an art. I mean, for both to stay calm and say, okay, guy, if you fuck it up, you are dead.
And then the tape is just...
It's erased. It will
Yeah.
never come back. It's erased. So there is a lot of tension or mental stress in the studio. It's like, okay, we have to fix that note. And if you fuck up the punch in, I punch you.
Because nowadays they're still punching in, but it's relaxed. You can still say, okay, I'm doing Command Z, and
it's back there.
Yeah.
So, but I'm from the days where it's like, okay, if you punch in wrong, I punch you. So, and the next thing is me as a player also. You better be, in the correct pitch and a good time and end that phrase, because you don't do that twice. It's like, it's like having an operation in your face. It's like, okay, this is the lead guitar, and it's like, okay, I make this one zip here, and then you look beautiful, or you look like Frankenstein. And that's a challenge for you as a player and mentally to stay cool and say, okay, great, well, let's do it. Bow, down, down, done. Or fuck you, and then you have to punch in earlier, and then it's like, I will never get this good that I have done. All this kind of stress. I love that these days it's easy. The problem is you kind of never end, because it's like, oh, I can do
everything.
I make another round, then I make another round, and then.
And maybe the old records there are some mistakes and things, and that's maybe why some people say it has a soul and it lives, and maybe why modern records are often perfect.
Yeah,
they sound
too perfect
because you just have endless takes.
Yeah, you can make it perfect.
And
back in the days you could not make them perfect unless you were Pink Floyd and had months, and even them had to live with the obstacles of the recording studios from back in the days. And I mean, there's crazy stories about Steve Lukather and Michael Jackson, where somebody erased whatever, the sync tape, and they had to replay the drums on top of something. That's musicianship. Was it Porcaro or some of those guys? These were my heroes. It's like, I know what the fuck that means. I mean, and to be that tight. And today you can play and you can be good or you can be sloppy, and the amount of things you can fix, from sloppy to perfect, from pitch to anything. On the one hand, it's amazing. On the other hand, it takes away some of the roughness from Gary Moore, for example, that is also part of music.
Also, I mean, we had this limitation that we only had a limited days in the studio.
Yeah.
I mean, you could say, or some people said, why are you not recording it at home? And it's different to be in the studio, because at home, I know that I have endless time, and I play all the possibilities, and I try out things, and nobody ever says, okay, it's good now. We have a timetable and we need to stop. So after a while, you don't know what is perfect anymore, and maybe the first track was perfect, but then you have played 55 different tracks, and how are you going to decide
which one is the one?
Which one is the one? And in the studio, you have someone
that gives you feedback.
Right.
They give feedback and say, hey, this was really good. Let's stick with that one. Maybe we can fix the end of the bit at the end. Give me another version for that. Bam, done. And this is also what I like about reducing the amount of options. You can really take a decision and go for things. And I recorded most of my later stuff live, just because I knew that was live. I didn't overdub anything
No.
because my live recordings are really live, like my whatever live in Rate or, you know.
I mean, some people even overdub that. I mean,
I hate it.
There are the
you know, this record.
Tellings of the Stones.
Yeah.
Played some.
This is all live.
Erase the mistakes.
Yeah, but
I don't know if that's true.
on my live recordings, nothing is overdubbed because I would never get the same sound, and I didn't even try. The only thing that I do with live records is I tend to play more in the live concert, and so I edit it shorter. So my solos are in the live concert sometimes boring for 16 bars, but when I do a good edit, I get a nice essence, but of a longer performance, just condensed into a great solo, and all the blah blah is gone. So that's my trick. Play long live, nobody cares. Yeah, and then
this time thing is really, that's interesting because it's limiting you. And I had the problem that before I went to the studio, I was practicing so much that my
fingertips were
my
hurt.
fingertips were hurt at. It's always the same
spot.
In every, and I'm kind of used to playing with a plaster. What is it called?
Plaster. Plaster.
Because every time I was really preparing for something like some finals or some audition for university or so, and studio things, then sometimes my finger just breaks open. So I'm kind of used to playing with a plaster, but that was not ideally in the studio.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh no, that's not gonna happen now. But we booked those days, and we couldn't say, we have to go. We couldn't say we're doing it a week later or so, because the studio was just not booked. And so we had to do it all in. I think we did the solos in 2 days also. Yeah. All the lead parts, because it's an instrumental album. There are not only the solos, but also the instrumental parts.
Well, the melodies.
Right. And
we have a picture of the settings.
Right. Yeah.
Of what did you use on the AMP1? The vintage channel?
I think it was the
classic
vintage channel. Yeah. Yeah, it was the classic channel. Yeah. Because it was only the solo stuff, and
well, there's nothing wrong about that. 7 is where it's still tight, not overgainy, and bass on 5 is always good. A little more mids and a little bit more treble to cut through. Fair, all good.
Then we had it on a big orange box, which was in the room next door.
Was it a 4x12?
It was a 4x12. Yeah, it was fucking loud.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong about being loud when you record.
Right. But you couldn't be in the same room. That was dangerous.
Yeah.
And when we were just thinking, okay, what are we doing? And I was searching for plaster because I had to play those solos. And now, I mean, I hear it. Probably people won't hear it, but and some solos I could just use 2 fingers, and because the other one was just not available, or was not used to that yet.
Yeah.
There was one solo that I played, which was where I wasn't that used to the plaster yet, and the second was fine because then I was perfectly in it.
Yeah, and you forgot about wearing a plaster.
But you can't say let's come back tomorrow.
Well, that's life. I think that's part of the whole thing in music. You have to live with what you get.
And it makes it special. It would have sounded differently when,
and as long as you can live with it, and I think you should also be able to live with the marks, because what is Aerosmith or Rolling Stones without any marks? If they would be totally perfect, it would be boring.
Yeah.
No, so this is why they have this kind of slightly thing here and that thing here, and
That's why we like live recordings and
yeah,
bands who play live over backing tracks or
yeah,
yeah.
two perfect produced things, and I think that's the beauty of music, that in the end it's the human flaws that are still shining through, and maybe they make it sympathetic. We can connect to that, actually. I mean, for me, the Rolling Stones were my first heroes before I played the guitar, because they were magic to me. Now I understand what I liked about them, because they were fucking cool. They gave a shit when Richards plays. I was a big fan when the Rolling Stones played disco music. The Rolling Stones had a few different phases. They had like...
So Happy was the disco phase or what?
I mean, there's like a... You know, or if you play this like, it's not Rolling Stones anymore, you know.
No.
It's like you have to try a little Richards thing, but that's cool, you know. And he played also. This was in maybe the early '80s, you know. They had when Rod Stewart, the Rolling Stones, and even Kiss with I Was Made for Loving You, and all these songs, all these rock bands, they were kind of going out of business, and they had to be present in the discotheques. Because before that it was big concerts, and then this disco wave kind of washing away all the rock bands, so they had to come up with at least one or two disco hits,
like
with rock
Queen,
guitar.
Kiss, yeah.
Yeah, everybody, you know, and
Van Halen.
but yeah, they all had that. They had to go there, and this for me was so interesting, because those original characters had to adapt and to be challenged with that kind of new format, and that wasn't perfect, but it was for me magic, because it was not the super cool disco guys. They were too tight for me. I mean, there's nothing about being tight and bands that are Wolfpack and that stuff. That's great by itself, but for me, it's more interesting to see how Keith Richards keeps up with something that is actually tight. You know, they probably had to play to click too, and even, you know, like Keith Moon, the drummer of the Who, Baba O'Reilly, there was a sequence in the background, and Keith Moon, how can he play to a click? And he could, with all his thunder drums, you know, and that's to me, exciting, because I can see how they were stepping out of their comfort zone, still being themselves. For me, excites me anyway.
Also, Aerosmith, they're going through so many phases. It's just blues rock at the beginning, and then it's the stadium rock ballad, clean 90s thing. Yeah. And
Walk This Way. I mean, with the rappers, Run DMC or what? Who was it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, do you know anything more about that song? How that came along?
No.
Because
we were just playing the old version. So.
Yeah, I thought that was so cool. You know, I remember the video when they came out, MTV, and they were in this rehearsal room, walk this way, and then you could see the wall, and in the other room were the rappers.
Actually, never listened to that version that much. I just know the old version better, because I always liked that much better.
Yeah, okay. Well, I watched it on MTV. You know, it's like when I was, 20, or when it came out, it was long ago. This was like music television, and back in the days I watched.
You didn't have YouTube yet.
No, there was no YouTube then. Was there internet? Not even internet. You know, I mean, this was pre everything. This was when I collected eggs in the garden from my grandma, and fried them in a pan.
What is really different, really interesting about why am I always confusing different and interesting today?
It doesn't matter. It's different.
What is really interesting is when you think about the sound of Aerosmith.
Yeah.
Because when you have to play all these songs from all these eras, you have to think, okay, what am I doing? Because normally, how am I approaching building a rig for bands? Because I have, like, for all the bands, I'm playing a different rig.
Yeah.
For my project, for some pop projects, for the Aero Chicks and so.
Yeah.
Not so much on the pedalboard, but when I'm having this the modeler, and there you have to say, okay, which normally I'm just using a cab and an amp, and I'm using the same cab and amp for every song.
Yeah,
because you could just say because I'm using a different amp and a different cab on every song, and I'm making a preset for every song, which is when I got my my first new modeler.
Yeah.
Which was the Quad Cortex. I was thinking, oh great, now I can just for every song that I'm playing, I'm making a whole preset. I have 8 sounds for every song.
Yeah.
For every part, for every small part of it. And then you realize, okay, actually you don't want that, because it's stressful not only for you but for the sound guy. If you have in the first song you have an AC30 and an AC30 cap, in the next song you have a Marshall.
Yeah.
All with different volumes and characteristics, and that must be horror for the sound guy.
Well, it actually
and it sounds awful.
Yeah, it doesn't work, because one sound has you have a place in the mix, and then when you switch to a totally different cabinet and whatever different amp and stuff, you are moving that place to another place, and then it's like you are jumping in the frequency spectrum. Therefore, you know, I have all my amps here. I have a Peavey 5150, I have my Mercury sounds all in here. But what I do is I use one cabinet. Yeah. One cabinet only, so that, and then my presets, they all sound like me, because it's basically just a slightly different, more gain or slightly cleaner.
That's it, yeah.
And that's all. Yeah. And people always think, oh, this sound is so great, but can I use it? Well, maybe not in that band. Or I have to tweak that sound towards a frequency spectrum that it works. So, you know, I'm always with my vintage channel, which is basically a Marshall, which is basically anything. So, and what's the difference between this sound and this sound? Not much. And then the next thing is I can have this with medium gain. And this is a Peavey 5150, and this is a BluGuitar AMP1 Mercury edition, and this is a Marshall that doesn't even exist in reality, that I've tweaked in here.
All with the same cap.
All with the same cap, and in the end, I try to dial in the frequencies towards my sound. Yeah. So it's not jumping. Yeah. And I have
also always try with everything I have, whether it's this or a big amp or a modeler. I always try to reach for that sound that I like, and it's mostly the same sounding sound.
Yeah. And I think that's also an experience, because on the one hand, people try to go crazy on gear. I want that option, I want that sound, I want that. And then
sometimes too much.
It's too much, and you make that journey with all the sounds, and then you come back to something. What I like about working with different sounds is when you are in the studio and you make arrangements and you have a guitar that fits in this little corner of the mix and has a little jingle jangle, and then you have another. That's a different story.
Yeah.
But for live, you have to have a place like AC/DC. That's why you can't beat AC/DC for a sound, because they have a great mix in the band, and they have, you know.
Also think about when you're going to a gig.
Yeah.
What are you bringing? Maybe some people are bringing 2 amps.
Yeah.
Nobody's bringing 2 cabs.
Yeah.
I mean, not until you're John Mayer or so. Maybe John Mayer has 2 cabs,
But
and he has 3 amps. I don't know. But
that
you bring 1 amp and you bring 1 cab, and you bring your pedalboard or whatever.
And that's it.
And you have to do. Maybe the amp has 3 channels.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's still the same amp and the same structure of gain, and it's not. One is a Fender, one is a Marshall, and one is a high watt, whatever. Yeah. And coming back to the Aerosmith thing, that was kind of a hard decision. Which phase am I going to for their sound? Because in the beginning they were playing.
In the beginning. Okay, that's my joke. In the beginning.
In the beginning, in the early days, they were playing Fender amps, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I searched for everything, and I found so many informations that in forums that people were discussing, and there's Equipboard or so, which tells you which amps they have played. Well, feels like almost all of the amps that they had, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there wasn't a Morgan and whatever. There were mostly Marshalls and Fenders.
Yeah.
Maybe a Vox, but I think they didn't play Vox. I don't know. And so I had to make a decision. Okay, am I going for a Fender sound, or am I going for the big?
Mark.
Or am I going for the? So that might also be an overdrive Fender.
Yeah.
And I have to decide which way to go. Am I going the Marshall way or
the Fender-y way?
Right, and I think now I have the main amp is a JM Pre, which is a Marshall preamp that I've never seen in real, but I read that makes a huge part of their later sound.
Yeah.
And I chose that. I had a Fender in it before. But you have to make that decision, right? And,
what is the foundation? What is the base?
What is the sound of Aerosmith? And then you realize, they never had the one sound, but they have had different sounds. It's like saying AC/DC. Yeah, they played every Marshall they could get. They basically, Angus played the history of Marshall. All the in the 80s he played the 80s amps that were available, and maybe in the 90s he was playing the 90s amps. Maybe he was switching back to the 70s amps. We don't know what they did in the studio.
But the secret for a good show is to have a consistent sound, and therefore you make a choice, and if you have a good choice, which also goes together with your bandmates, you know, you might come up with a great idea for you, and then you think maybe the other one is better in this band.
Yeah.
I have to adjust my sound sometimes also a little bit when I play with different people. So guys, I think we are. Before we forget, you brought a guitar. You shouldn't bring a guitar for nothing. What is what's going on with this Ibanez? There's a guitar. Just give me a little. So this is what? One word about the Strat. Just
right. It's actually a Mexico Strat. It's really.
There's nothing wrong about
It's
Mexican.
a cheap guitar. It was like 750 or so. I mean. And I don't really have the experience with the vintage Strats because they're expensive.
It's tense strings?
Yeah.
What are you playing?
That's interesting because I can Alexius because I'm lazy and they just these are the strings that
Last
just
longer.
last, and I don't have to change them very often. Probably they're on there for 10 months or so.
Cool. Yeah.
And when it comes
here.
to changing strings, I'm lazy. Maybe some people feel the same, but I have my phases with guitars. Sometimes I just love the Les Paul-y thing, and sometimes then I come back to the Strat and I think, okay, that's it, because I'm not doing. Is it in tune?
Yeah. Close enough for jazz.
It had the long way here over the Autobahn.
Yeah.
And I was on a. Do you feel the same that you're playing a bit different on Les Paul?
Absolutely.
Then because I'm. Wait a minute. Not really on a, or not funky on a on Les Paul style guitar.
Yeah.
More like a Strat thing to me. And then there are big riffs that are more like a Les Paul thing. Right. Sometimes feel a bit, more
Les Paul-y.
More Les
Yeah,
Paul-y.
of course.
And also, the Gary Moore stuff is very strange to play on a Strat to me. I mean, I know that he played Strats, but in the last, let's say, 20 years of his living, he was more like a Les Paul guy.
Yeah, but he had also his phases. So the long phase of Gary playing Les Pauls, then there was a long phase of Strats in the 80s, and then he turned into the Les Paul again. And what I like about Gary Moore, he was getting each of the guitars to a maximum thing. I was impressed of his skills on both guitars. So he knows how to make a Les Paul sing, and he knows also how to beat up a Strat in a way, which is nice.
Yeah, and and also Slash is. I would never play any Guns N' Roses things on
the
that.
Strats. Yeah.
That was also a question for Aerosmith. What am I playing? Because he plays Strats, I guess, Tallys. I don't have a Tally.
Yeah.
He's often associated with a Les Paul.
Yeah.
So I mostly play that guitar. And I always have my Strat as a spare guitar, which I had to use once because
shit can happen. String broke or something.
It was some the sound guy was saying we're not using the guitar because it was humming, or even though it has humbuckers, right? But and then on my Schecter I'm playing the metal stuff, so I'm not really used to playing metal on that. So and those lines like those big lead things.
I give you a little bit more reverb.
They have what do I want to say? I don't know. I have the impression that I can make better sounding vibratos.
On a Les Paul.
I don't know, because it has some sweet spots.
Yeah.
Like I think on this guitar it's the where is it on that guitar? I know that on my Les Paul it's on the G on the D string where it has this nice little overtone.
Ah, yeah.
On this guitar it's a G. But some guitars have it on some
different notes.
Yeah. It has nothing on this. Not this kind of overtone.
Yeah.
Another thing is vibrato, which is really interesting for teaching because it's like teaching a student in school handwriting, because you actually want the person not to copy your handwriting, but to develop their own.
Yeah.
And there's not one right handwriting. I mean, which is the right
Everybody
handwriting?
has it. I mean, this is where we can have signatures.
And then somebody asks you, okay, how is it done? Explain it to me. I'm saying, okay, I'm doing it like this.
Yeah.
There are millions of other people doing it differently.
Yeah.
So I can only show you what I do, which is in a way very freeing, because you're not thinking, okay, oh, am I telling this wrong? But you're saying, okay, you're asking me, I give you this answer. If you don't like the answer, you can go to someone else. But the vibrato thing is actually a thing that I thought a lot about during my studies, because my Peter, my coach there, was my docent, was always saying I have a
Peter Wölbel.
Right. Yeah.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
I have a goat vibrato, not meaning greatest of all time, but like this animal, like. And it feels much better with reverb.
Yeah.
And it's now I was thinking a lot about kinds of vibratos that exist, and I realized every vibrato is completely different.
Absolutely.
You have this. I mean, I have now my vibrato, so I can't really replicate another vibrato. But the Dimebag Darrow thing or the metal thing is fast vibrato. Also kind of a Gary Moore thing, and you often have to say, okay, there are some rules about the vibrato. Don't start it too early, which I'm also saying.
Yeah.
Don't start it instantly. And then you
wait a
little, right?
And then.
But then you hear Gary Moore doing this. Instantly, and then you're okay. Come on, what am I telling you?
Yeah. But this is personal. It's personal. I mean, everybody has its own handwriting and its own vibrato.
And at the moment, my favorite vibrato is I think it's the Steve Vai vibrato. It's the Half Moon vibrato. It's mostly I'm sliding in then. I'm doing a half circle, so
it bends up and down.
Not up. I think it's going down, then going a bit. Other finger. It's going down, then going back on the string, then going back, but not up.
Yeah.
Just the same.
That's the same middle
right? And then going back, just like a half moon.
Yeah.
Up. And then makes this.
About going up and down in pitch is because you have a movement that makes the but bending you go up in pitch, and by sliding back you lower the pitch. It's only micro but it's different when you go always sharp.
Yeah.
But with this I can't do this. because I play a Strat, I do it differently. But the thing is, with that, you have the pitch around the perfect pitch, and that makes it more human.
I think it's a violent thing because
maybe,
very often in the videos when people are starting to make vibratos, I see this. People are watching violinists, and you always he makes this, and people are remembering this, and
but with the frets, it doesn't work like that.
And then you're at the same point. You have to say, okay, if that's what you're aiming for, it's fine. You can do a little vibrato with that. It's a little vibrato. I made a video on vibrato, and someone said it's. I think George Lynch has this.
Had that style.
Genau.
Okay.
But if you aim for that Gary Moore thing, then you're not going. You have to do something else. And also, you can the half moon thing. I'm mostly doing with the first finger, so not so much with the others. Are you thinking about your vibratos?
No.
No, right? Yeah.
I forgot to think about a lot of things. That's
me neither. When I'm playing, I'm just playing and not so much thinking about things.
That's for me the good thing when I do like those courses, because that's the only time where I really have to think about what I'm doing. Yeah. And I have to admit, I still don't know that much about what I'm doing. But at least
not a bad thing.
But at least I record something, and I have to reflect on what I'm doing, and that's, I think, a good thing. Also, when you do recording in the studio, feedback is always what is actually what you know. What am I in pitch? Do I like what I sound like? Playing and enjoying yourself is one thing, which I do. But sometimes when I listen to myself, whoa, interesting. Some people still like that, but in my own world, in my own category, sometimes I think, I played better.
Sometimes when you're talking about football players or soccer for the US guys. You're saying, okay, don't think too much before you shoot, because if you think too much about what you're doing, then you're not gonna score a goal. And it's sometimes the same thing when playing guitar. I feel the most free when I'm not thinking about anything. I had a preparing course for the studies, like for one day with Peter Wölpel, who also does the auditions for the Popakademie. And we had to play over some backing track in G minor, whatever. And I thought about all the changes and so on, and I wanted to make it perfect. And it sounded, a bit not like me. And then he said, okay, do it again. Don't think about anything. Just
and then
play.
It was okay.
And then he said, that's what it is. And it's also on stage. You have to see or to think about so many things. Maybe there's some guy emptying his bottle on the floor, or the sound guy I don't know doing what, and then you're just. It sounds strange, but you're feeling it more like than thinking about it, right?
Exactly. See, this I was winning this award by Fender, and I tell you what my preparation was. Nothing. I went there, and in the tent, there were all the other great guitar players. Some of them were doing whatever, warm-up, exercising, and whatever. And I did do nothing. I was visiting the castle, and I thought, you know what? I played enough guitar before that. Now is
But you always want to be prepared. That's just human to be want to be, and then you realize, okay, I shouldn't have prepared because.
See, and that's my lesson that I learned is like, if I'm mentally open and present in the moment, I can be better than when I'm kind of stuck being over prepared or having a load in my head.
Yeah.
Because, I was winning this thing not because I was the best guitar player. All the other guys were technically better. I'm talking to Paul Rose, I mean the guy from Unbelievable Guitar Player. Markus Demel was there. We are at least at the same level. But I was winning this award because I was giving a fuck. I was just there and said, here's my song, this is my performance, and take it, leave it, and if it's bad, it's bad. If it's good, it's good,
I think when you over-prepare or think too much about it, then when you prepare something for a long time, then you're afraid to just fuck it up.
Yeah.
And when you're not prepared and you're saying, okay, what can happen? I'm not prepared anyway.
Yeah.
So, and it's just when I'm on stage and just warming up, preparing for something, and there's one lick that I know
you have a problem with.
I have a problem with, and then during sound check, I practice that extensively. For sure, I will play that wrong.
Exactly.
When I'm not preparing it, then
it works.
It works.
Yeah, I made the same.
Strange.
I made the same experience, and therefore I know certain things are not necessary. It's better to prepare them 3 days in advance.
Yeah.
And then maybe sometimes I prepare before I go to bed, because then my brain kind of reflects the whole thing. And then, but just stress 5 minutes before. No, it's not now. I'm in the car. I get there. I have a drink. Now it's stage time. Do you know the song? I have no clue. Let's start. Yeah, smile, and here's your face. Hey, I think we talked over-prepared. We spent more than 2 and some hours.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No.
Time is flying.
Okay.
Maybe you didn't notice, but my butt is getting flat.
Oh yeah, that I noticed.
Yeah. It's been a real big pleasure having you here.
Been a real big pleasure to be here.
Yeah, we can have a next follow-up next year or whatever.
Yeah.
Would be fun, sure. Because it looks like we can learn a lot more, which would be fun. And maybe when your record is
maybe then I can bring David, the producer, and he can maybe he can tell us why we did this. And he's a phenomenal guitar player. And
anything I'm happy for.
That was cool because he feels this instrumental stuff because he's a guitar player.
Yeah.
And
so he knows.
Right.
A good choice. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. What is the plan for that album now? It's like second half of 26.
It's probably in late summer, in September, early September.
Next year.
Right, because people will say, that's almost 9-10 months from now, and it's a long time also for me because I have those songs on the they're mastered and everything now, and I can listen to them, but I want to show them to people, so I don't only have to listen to them by me, and it's. But I didn't want to make the same mistake and say, okay, we release it in January and then not be able to
be ready for that.
Because if you have a fixed date, then people expect you to do it on that date.
Yeah.
And it was eight months from first note played in the studio to release of the album with an analog thing and promotion going on that you have to do was just not realistic. And and now. Mm-hmm. This it feels better, and the release concert has to be planned new because the old location doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, okay.
Now I had to find an, but I will give
Yeah.
updates on that. I already have one, so.
Okay, so we are looking forward for the release of the album sometime later next year, second half, and yeah, maybe we have Vanessa back here and we can talk about that production and what's new in life and what's happening.
What's new in gear?
Yeah. Thanks for joining. Okay, guys.
Yeah, thanks.
Take care. Bye bye. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.
So.